Hey everybody, Edo here, and for this week's League video, I want to do something I have been doing for a number of Kickstarter campaigns, which is talk about the different things I'm doing the same or differently on this Kickstarter. And the Kickstarter that's coming up in just a few days is Herbaceous Sprouts. Kickstarter is on Tuesday, May 22nd. Again, just a few days from now. And in the comments below, I'll also link the preview page for the Kickstarter. Obviously, it isn't live, but it helps give context to the things that I'm mentioning in the video, right? I recently did a Heroes Welcome one, and now I'm doing one for Herbaceous Sprouts. So one of the things that's particularly noteworthy about this campaign is that it is going to be on the longer side. I am going to be running this until June 18th, which is a Monday, which I'll talk about, but that's about 3.5 weeks. The Sunset Over Water campaign was 2 weeks, and maybe a day or two, but generally speaking, I have not done a campaign this long since Liftoff. I mean, in years. And the main reason I'm doing the campaign the time it is having to do with overlapping conventions. So, KubbleCon starts on Thursday the 24th or Friday the 25th, so I wanted to have the Tuesday in front of that because I'll have a booth at KubbleCon. I go there regularly. There are people like Herbaceous. It's a good event, right? So, and May 22nd was a great day when I'd be ready to launch the campaign. But then I'm going to be sharing a booth at Origins with Keith Mateka and Thunderworks Games. So I felt like Origins would be a good time. But Origins is a 5-day, like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday convention or whatever it is. And so it didn't make sense. I didn't want to be ending during Origins, right? So what I ended up doing was saying, okay, well, I'll extend past Origins into the next week, which is where I end on Monday. Now, normally I end on Thursdays, I think every campaign, but I didn't want to get into yet another cycle of games, like Tuesday launches, and I just felt like, boy, that's just going to be I just don't want a whole nother slate of monster games coming in. So I figured Monday would be good, see what it looks like. I don't know, but I do think grabbing these 2 weekends will be good. And Herbaceous Sprouts, given Herbaceous, I think the game's amazing and super cool. So I'm hopeful that it's a healthy campaign through in the middle. I've got events and different things going on. I can keep that middle interesting. Also, I've been through this enough times that I don't expect to get too depressed for too long in the middle either, right? So I think it'll be okay. But this is a long campaign, and I'll decide whether or not I do another one this long in a long time. Another interesting development is for the video. If you watch it, I actually integrated some real-life film work. I haven't really done that in the past other than this kind of video, but I felt for the IP for Herbaceous and the vibe and the feel of the game, getting some garden-looking stuff would make sense. And so I went that route. I think it came out well. I like it a whole lot, but that is different than I've done in the past. I tried doing something different with Sunset Over Water, which I thought went really well, which was Beth Sobel. She illustrated the cover and we time-lapsed it, and so I included that in the beginning, and I felt like it went with the vibe of the game, and just like that, I think this works, but I haven't done it before. So we'll see how that goes, see what people think. Some things that are consistent about this campaign: the layout is classic Pencil First Games. If you've seen any of my campaigns for the last, almost since Liftoff, the layout of my page, plus or minus a few things, is pretty consistent, and I've been very happy with it. I know how to make it every time, so if you want to know how to do it like I do it, whatever that means to you, it's pretty consistent. I'm still not doing a $1 pledge. Again, I felt that the sort of pledge amount, that the no reward backer level that they've added captures that, and I've been fine with that. I'm, again, not doing a retail tier. That's something I think about. Sometimes retailers reach out to me during the campaign and I work with them one-on-one, but since I'm consistently and regularly in distribution, I work with distributors and retailers through that period. So I haven't done anything special there. I don't know, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, but I still haven't. I was so close to using a pledge manager, and I thought about it, and I got close, and I'm not using a pledge manager. At least if it performs how I'm expecting, which is great, but, if it blows the world, if it goes off the charts, maybe I'll reevaluate that. But for now, I think I'm going to stick to not having a pledge manager. We will see whether or not that was a good or bad decision. Also, I do have a duo bundle. I have a number of combo bundles with like Herbaceous and Sensitive Water because it's from the same team, but I feel that highlighting, hey, buy one and get a gift for a friend or get two, for most people is the way to go. I don't think the like add one on is a sell opportunity. There are certainly people who do that and they self-identify, but just your general person doesn't. And I talk about Mother's Day and all these other things, so I think having that pledge tier makes sense to me, and it has in the past. Now, I don't have any dual bundle weirdness, so I'm sure I'm going to get people who are like, what happens if I want to add a blah, and we'll just deal with that. So, a couple other things that I've been thinking about or just want to highlight. This is now, I think, the second campaign where solo mode or the single player work that Keith Matejka has done, we've given a name. We've made it its own, not brand, but like named play mode, and I really like it. I think it adds, it speaks to the quality of the work that Keith is doing. It speaks to it having its own vibe, which it does, and it feels really nice on the page. So I definitely feel in the world now where solo gaming is growing and growing and growing, the interest is high, and the Kickstarter engagement interest is high, which is sort of unique. Like in the market share space, it might be small, but that group is very responsive to being met with interest. So that's why I like that a lot and I recommend it. Another thing that I've went back and forth with on a number of times is Kickstarter exclusive, expansions, yada, yada, yada. I'm doing what I've now done for a number of campaigns, which is this mini expansion. It's a little extra set of cards that gives extends and gives a little variation to play. I did one for Herbaceous. I did one for Sensitive Water. It works. They end up being added. I don't put it on BGG. I don't sell it otherwise. And so it ends up being something I get asked about, especially with Herbaceous. I get asked about it a lot. And, I say, hey, next Kickstarter's coming up. That's when you can get them during Kickstarters. And I think it works. I went through a debacle and fulfillment with my last one, but I think there were special reasons for that. And if you watch the video I did with Jamie Stegmaier interviewing me, I talked about it a little bit. But that was just a production mistake. I won't let that one happen again. I'm not ready to go to nothing, but I don't want it to be so substantial that it's not, I don't have a retail product, right? Like this little pack isn't a ton of stuff. It isn't all this custom stuff. It's just this little extra bonus for those who back the Kickstarter. For Heroes Welcome, we actually went through and did the expansion for free, which will then be an expansion sold at retail separate from the game. It was much more substantial, and I think it worked, but it didn't seem like it was a true needle mover. Like, it accomplished what's the value to the Kickstarter backer, but I think maybe we gave them a lot of value, thinking about through the shipping and the production. I mean, it's all going to work out, but I don't know. It felt right to do this here. I have another game in the future. I'm considering whether or not to go back to that added expansion that'll be sold later, but you get it for free model. Another little thing, and my mother has done the intro videos for, or not intro, the how to plays for Herbaceous and Sunset Over Water, which have been like sort of a hit. She's like a popular because she's the only mom doing Kickstarter. I don't know, but like people enjoy seeing her. And normally she heads out around April to visit. They live in New York, but she was celebrating in Panama her birthday, so she didn't come, and I couldn't teach her the game or show it to her. And I thought about it, and it's sort of become a thing of the campaign. So what I ended up doing is I did this sort of Skype, telling my mom about it, and then showing her how to play thing. It's a little weird, but I feel like it's me leaning into some of the unique pieces of what this campaign series and game series embodies, and I really like it. And actually, to some degree, even if it's less efficient or effective as me just doing a how to play without like a 60-second or 2-minute sort of me talking with my mom bit in the front, like, I still would do it because to me that's part of what this is about. And I think that comes through. Perhaps not. What other little things here? One, Rado is doing a review or whatever, preview how to play. But he has this new format he's doing, which is a short form. It's like 5 minutes. It's like a brief overview with a little opinion at the end. We'll see how it goes. It's not his 3-segment, 90 minutes of stuff, but I certainly appreciate it, and he's awesome for doing it. So if he can now handle more reviews because he's got a more reasonable time window for his stuff, I think that'll be great. I don't know how his audience will react to it. In terms of interest, watching, and that kind of thing. He also has a Patreon where people get an early preview of it, so they've seen it already, so like it'll be interesting for sure. Another thing that I'm doing for the first time is I'm trying out the Dice Tower preview thing. That is a paid service, right? Like to get a Kickstarter preview slot on Dice Tower, they label it as paid, you pay it. I'm going to actually have a note under the review or preview on the Kickstarter saying, hey, this was paid content, being really upfront about it. But I'm curious to see. Herbaceous has a brand. I think there's a pretty decent audience on Dice Tower that's interested in it. And in particular, Mark and Ann, who have looked at Sunset Board Game Corner, have looked at Sunset Over Water, Herbaceous, love those games. Ann was like, hey, can we really play, can we play Sprouts? We're super excited. We saw some pictures of it. And I was like, yes. And they're like, well, there's this little paywall thing. But like, I felt like I wanted to send it to them because I've sent them everything in the past. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'll be curious to say yes, that was worth it, or no, it wasn't worth it. I don't know. Also, something I'm considering is BGG now has a promotional spot in their email blast. There's always had their contests. They've always had their banner ads. I have not been particularly successful with banner ads myself on a number of campaigns. I've never done a contest, but this is in their crowdfunding email blast. So I'm considering whether or not I do that. Last 2 notes that I think are relevant. One, this is a little bit of a risky project. I mean, I'm certainly not. I'm really happy with it, right? It's really it's fantastic. It's a heavier price point. It's a bigger game. It's got 30 custom dice. It's got a board. It's got tokens. It's got cards, right? It's got a nice box. It's not the same price point as Sunset Over Water and Herbaceous. And so, will the audience be willing or interested in bumping up? The gamer audience might, but I have a lot of people who aren't necessarily as deep into games, and it'll be interesting to see how that impacts things. I'm very apprehensive about the price point, but I do believe people who step up and are interested, they're going to get a fantastic game. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Lastly, fulfillment, nothing special there, except that I went through this Fun Again madness last because they decided not to go out of business. They were stopping fulfillment, and now they're starting again. So I don't know what they're doing as a company, but it was pretty crazy to do fulfillment with them. Finally resolved it. It's all set, but I don't today know that I'm going to be using them. I may. What I think I'm going to do is just wait. Like, I think I want to get closer to the point of of ship to then see who's doing well, who's not slammed by Cool Mini or not. Like, which partners are still doing a good job when I need them. Not, you know, in the case of Fun Again, they were the #1 recommended source, and then they got slammed, and then they decided to step out of the business and then go back. You know, it's hard to predict what people are going to be like in 9 months, right? So I'm giving myself some flexibility there. That's about it. This is pretty standard. I try to just nail the continuation of the Herbaceous and Sunset Over Water vibe, but there were some things that are different, and I'm very, you know, these are those when I do these videos, it's like, I don't know. We'll find out. But I am super excited about this Kickstarter. This one's come together well, and so hopefully the audience agrees with me, but, you know, we'll see. Anyway, thanks. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks. Bye.